Della, the whole idea of backstory and beyond is to weave in where a person comes from to what they're doing now. So we focus on things like calling, purpose, peak human potential, and what it is that you're looking to achieve. So that said, let's begin with your backstory. Please share where you've come from, how you got to where you are.
Well, John, that's an interesting question because if you'd have asked me that question when I was 6 years old, it would be completely different today. But I was born in Tyler, Texas, which is pretty much outside of Dallas. And most of my family and I grew up in the Dallas area. However, I left Texas right after I walked across the stage of high school, and I've never moved back. And partly it's because the world just sucked me up, consumed me to see what it was like outside of Texas. While I like to say I'm still a Texan today, I guess if I look at my past, John, it was my mother who probably had the most profound impact on me as a little girl because my mother was a very smart woman, but she didn't have the same opportunities I did. She was not able to go to college. She had 7 kids. I was next to the baby, and I watched my mother be able to manage 2 nickels. And she was able to feed 7 kids on a little income. I watched her budget. I watched her have financial acumen. And those are the traits I give my mother a lot of credit for. I give my father credit for entrepreneurship. My father died, and he never knew he was an entrepreneur because back then you were labeled as a man who couldn't get a job. But my father tried really hard to be a businessman, be an entrepreneur, but he suffered from the same syndrome that many entrepreneurs suffer from today, which is access to capital. And that is the reason that I am focused on capital today, moving it to people and places where it ordinarily doesn't flow.